Hi, my name is Chris. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing CSS Battle Daily Target for July 29, 2025. Alright, so let's get a game plan for the layout. I think what I want to do here, the easiest approach that I can think of is to set the body to display flex, make this rectangle a child of the body, center, everything in the body, and then we're going to make this circle here, that'll be the circle's border, that'll be position absolute, and we'll just put it where it needs to go. Then we're going to make a container for this here, make that container display flex, and we'll have an element here, an element here, an element here, right? And then we'll have to set this to align items flex ends so that this rectangle is at the bottom. So that's a real quick synopsis of how I'm going to approach this. So start with div. This is going to be our rectangle, the black large rectangle. That's a child of the body. So this one here. Then this is going to be the circle at the top. And then this is going to be the container for all this stuff here. And we're going to have 3 elements. Notice I'm just using the letters of the alphabet to label my elements, to cut down on characters. Not a best practice in real life, but it helps for CSS Battle to keep your character count low and give you a higher score. So there's all the divs we need, I believe. Yeah, cool. And then we're going to just focus on layout and background color for a second here. So body is going to be display. No, hold on. Body and C. This is the container for those. That's all going to be display flex, and then we can say justify content center, and then align items flex ends. We could even do that with the body, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this rectangle the full height. Even if I didn't, putting it to the bottom is going to work well. And then we need flex end because we want this rectangle to be pushed down. Okay, and then we need to set the position properties of B and C. These are all going to be position absolute. So it's out of the flow of the rest of the elements. Then we can set both body, both body and circle, which is B, to the background of this reddish color. And we then have all these elements that are black, which are going to be A, D, and E. So A, D, E. I'm going to have a background of this blackish color. think that's all we need for that. Now we can start working on the width and the height of everything. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm look at A. Which looks like it has a width of, I don't know, 100. And then we can set the height, to the full height. And now we see a problem. See how it's that little gap there? That's because body has a default margin. So I'm just going to put it here. It's not going to hurt anything if we give C a margin of 0. So we need to reset the margin for the body. So we're just going to set it to 0, and that solves that. Okay, the width is correct. Good. So let's work on B, which is the circle. First thing we're going to do is get a border of 30 pixels, I want to say. Solid. This yellow color. Why it is down there is confusing me. I don't know why it would be all the way down there. Alright, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I expected that to be right in the middle. And border radius of 50% to make it a circle. And then we need to set the width and the height, which are going to be the same. I'm going to say 150, height 50. Close, but no cigar. And 70. A little bit off. 80. 180. That might be right. I'm a little confused of why that's not. Oh, I know why it's the bottom. So what happens is, even though it's position absolute, which stays out of the flow of the rest of the elements, when you set the body to display flex, it will by default follow these justify content and line items commands. So since I set it to flex end, it's going at the bottom, and justify content center, it's going in the center. If that wasn't there, watch this. So if that's not there, everything's gonna be at the top left, right? And this got weird. Well, take my word for it. I'm not going to go through digging around to show that. Okay, so we're going to position it from the bottom. I'm going to say 200. And that is incorrect. So let's try 180. A little bit off. So is our width and our height. But once we get this position correctly, okay. Once we get this position correctly from the bottom, like we have now we can adjust the width and the height. Let's try 190. And that's probably about as close as we're gonna get it. Cool. Alright, so now we gotta deal with that container and those three elements. Let's grab C. And we're going to say bottom, oh, I don't know, 60. Now let's look at E. It looks to be the same as this border. The height looks to be the same as this border, so height of 30 and width of, where's B? 190 plus 30, 210. So that's 210, so I want to say 220. Way off. My math was terrible. Right, because width is 190 plus both borders, 30 plus 30 is 60, so that's 250. So it's a little bit more than 250, 260. Close. 250. There we go. And then this bottom needs to come up. And there it is. Cool. Now we just need to get these two rectangles here, and that looks to be about, so that's 30, well, that's 30, then there's another 30, and there's probably half of 30, so I'm going to say 75. So that element is D. It's going to have a width of 30 and a height of 75. Too much height. Let's turn the diff on. And boom. Now that outline, you see that little green outline. I bet that we either get 100% or 99.9%, which is a win for me, because some of these subtleties I still haven't got a grasp of with CSS Battle and why they happen. So we're going to cut down on our characters by getting rid of the comments and then put everything on one line. Let's start by highlighting these first three divs. Hit delete. Let's get this, all this white space. Hitting Command D on a Mac. Delete. Let's finish it off by putting everything on one line. And let's go ahead and submit and see what we got. All right, 100% match. Fantastic. Happy with that. All right. Hopefully you found this video enjoyable and helpful. If you did, please like it. It helps my channel grow. If you'd like to see more like this, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.